Upon the picturesque mountain, a maiden stands. With bare hands she fashions a manor most coveted. Within the manor grow verdant, pure, and natural vegetables. Pluck at will, stir-fry, and the taste shall be sweet and delicate. There she raises tender ducklings, worthy of affection, when the ducks are grown, be it for eggs or for trade. They shall bring forth wealth and benefit, and beside the ducks dwell to water buffalo. Happily they feast upon chopped plantain and yam. Of course, free-ranging chickens cannot be absent. A few pigeons too are kept. These are symbols of fortune's favor. Not far from the manor lies a pond of fish. Cast but one net, and plentiful catch is assured. A fine meal shall be enjoyed. To dwell within such a delightful manor, indeed, feels akin to a paradise beyond the world. Yet beneath this glorious appearance of life lies the maiden's arduous struggle. As the saying goes, without enduring the bitter cold, how may one savor the plum blossom's fragrance? Without weathering storms, where comes the rainbow? To rejoice in the harvest, first must one toil through hardship. Only then may one reap the desired reward. And today, the mistress of the manor, Mong Dao, once more embarks upon her day of earning. The path is full of hardship, yet the end is most fulfilling. Gentle sunlight falls upon the morning mountains. Endless green ridges stretch far beyond sight. The view fills the heart with serenity. On this day, brimming with hope, Mong Dao invites her cousin, shouldering bamboo baskets, bearing trays upon their backs. They tread upon the country road, with laughter and chatter along the way. From afar, the scene inspires envy. Such is the deep bond of sisters. Of late, the weather grows hot, and it is the finest season for fruits to be sold. Whether watermelons or coconuts, or sweet juices, to partake of them brings comfort throughout the body. Mong Dao and her cousin make their way to a farmer's home to gather coconuts. Not long ago, Mong Dao went alone to the wild to pick coconuts. Alas, to harvest alone is fraught with danger. Climbing upon coconut trees of more than 10 jong in height, the peril therein is truly immense. But now, with two working in harmony to harvest coconuts, the task is far more convenient. Mong Dao and her cousin share deep kinship. Oft do they labor together. For instance, casting nets to catch fish, then selling the catch for silver profit. Dwelling amidst the great mountains, they aid and support each other. Thus do their lives flourish ever better. The farmer's coconut trees are laden with fruit. The young have all gone to seek work afar. None remain to harvest. Thus the farmer resolved to sell coconuts unto Mong Dao. In former days, when Mong Dao gathered coconuts, she would build a ladder of bamboo herself, so as to climb the lofty tree. But now it is easier. The farmer's household keeps a long ladder, both safer and more convenient to use. The two sisters lift the ladder and set it firm. With utmost care, they rest its other end against the tall coconut tree. Once assured of safety, Mong Dao carefully begins to climb. Her cousin steadies the ladder below. The ladder's length grants Mong Dao great ease. Yet from below, the danger still seems daunting. But all remains well. Mong Dao moves with both hands and feet, swiftly reaching the crown of the tree. There she sits atop, beholding clusters of plump coconuts. The sisters' faces blossom with joy. Mong Dao grips the fruit firmly with both hands and twists. Easily the stalk breaks away. Calling down to her cousin, she casts the coconut from above. Her cousin, full of confidence, grasps the sack tightly with both hands, and with ease, catches the falling fruit. Their cooperation flawless. Truly worthy daughters of the mountains. The following motions are repeated in the same manner. As Mong Dao twists off each coconut from the tree, she casts it downward. Her nimble cousin catches every one from below, lest the coconuts fall to the ground and shatter. It shall affect the trade of goods. On the surface, 'tis but a simple task, yet within hides perils untold. Should the younger cousin fail to catch the coconut, it may well fall upon her crown. The farmers standing aside watch with trembling hearts, shaken with dread. Verily, these two sisters care not for their very lives. Men striving for coin, heedless of life and death, one hath oft beheld, toil till the very breath is spent. Yet to see women earn silver with such disregard for fate, that is truly a rarity, scarce and seldom seen. Beholding their fervent resolve, methinks one ought to lessen their fee a little. The coconut is no trifling thing. It beareth within an abundance of vitamin C, as well as vitamin B. Vitamin C is as a loyal guardian, possessing mighty power to resist oxidation. It wardeth off the assault of free radicals within the body. As for vitamin B, it is like a swift and potent catalyst that furthereth the body's vital metabolism, thus ensuring that all functions move in harmony. Moreover, the coconut is also replete with minerals and fine proteins of high quality. It is as a shield of nourishment, especially in the sweltering heat of summer. To savor a cup of coconut juice now and then is of great benefit to restore coolness to the body, beyond all measure, like a cool breeze that sweeps across 1,000 li. At this moment, Meng Yao's hands and feet move deftly, harvesting all the coconuts upon the tree. Only one last cluster remaineth aloft. With her fingertips, Meng Yao graspeth the coconuts tightly. One by one she turneth them with strength, till the sound of snapping echoed. The coconuts, broken free, fell like pearls from a sundered string, hurled swiftly downward with force. Her cousin below moved with perfect accord, keen of eye and quick of hand, catching each coconut with steady grip. Then gently she laid them upon the ground. Before long, the earth was piled with round, glistening coconuts, as though a small mountain of coconuts were piled ere the ground. After long hours of toil and harvest, the coconuts upon the lofty tree were at last plucked clean without remainder. Meng Yao let forth a long breath of relief, as though laying down a burden of 1,000 jin. Yet such perilous labor is not a task that common folk may endure. Each ascent, each gathering, was as dancing upon the edge of danger. Yet for the sake of earning more coin, oft they could but yield to necessity, and brace themselves against dread. Lo, Meng Yao once more, cautious and wary, clutched the coconut tree in trembling hands, and step by step ascended the ladder. Her careful manner was no different from walking a tightrope. Beholding the coconuts heaped upon the ground, the two sisters were filled with mirth. They truly tasted the joy of a bounteous harvest. Yearning to hasten to the market to sell their coconuts, Meng Yao and her cousin carefully sorted them, placing each into baskets and trays. Feeling the weight of each heavy coconut, the sisters also felt at once, as though silver tails were calling unto them. There are 10,000 ways to earn coin, yet through the exchange of goods for silver is truly the lightest and freest of paths. The sisters Meng Yao were not slothful nor idle, nor ones to covet mere pleasure. They knew full well how to seek wealth. With silver as their foundation, they could taste some joys of life, and thence return to toil once more. They knew well their youth was their truest capital. With but limited years, toiling day by day, to amass sufficient wealth, that they and their kin might live a life more rich and more content. When all the coconuts were gathered, Meng Yao summoned the master of the farm. Having plucked so many coconuts of another's, it was meet to offer some silver in token. Such is but the courtesy of human dealings. This the sisters Meng Yao understood well. To pay a little cost in return, to gain yet greater profit. Such a bargain may well be deemed most fair. Thereafter, the two sisters each bore their heavy coconuts upon the shoulder pole, and made their way toward the market, the place of earning silver. Between them, the weight of coconuts upon their shoulders seemed near to snapping the carrying pole in twain. Be it basket or wooden tray, all swayed with their every step, rising and falling. As for the true weight upon the pole, none but they themselves could know. To see them tread the path with such labor, one could tell the burden was not light. Common folk could scarce endure it. In this world we dwell, some live in leisure, and some live ever toiling. Different hearts, different fates. Different families, all unlike. Yet no matter what life is chosen, one must persevere. A little hardship and toil matter not, for coin earned by one's own hands is well spent and steadfast. Silver in the pocket is proof of dignity and self-reliance. No need to beg alms like unto a vagrant. Arriving at the market, the sisters swiftly laid out each shining green coconut. Upon the tarpaulin spread aforehand. Such manner of stall-keeping saved them the cost of renting a booth. For small trades such as theirs, the market overseers oft would not drive them away. Scarcely had the two youthful maidens set forth their stall, then business came seeking of its own accord. An old dame, steps brisk, approached their stand. Cheerfully she chose to coconuts, without a whit of haggling, meeting such straightforward customers. Meng Yao and her cousins' faces naturally bloomed with joy. Not long after came another elder sister. Her children at home were fond of coconuts. She had thought to buy from the great market, but spying the coconuts at Meng Yao's stall, she saw at once they were freshly grown from their own land. Behold that plump hue of orange, its quality firm and solid. Straightway two were chosen. Inwardly she made her reckoning. The child, upon seeing, would surely rejoice. Beside her, the young lad tarried not. He crouched by the stall, earnestly selecting. In this blazing summer's heat, to fresh and sweet coconuts in hand, would well dispel the rising heat and replenish the body's needed sustenance. Meng Yao and her younger cousin bustled busily vending their coconuts. Year by year, they oft appeared near the marketplace. Each time, their wares were never the same. Thus many folk knew these two, diligent and steadfast maidens. At times, when strolling through the market, seeing them sell, others would lend hand by purchasing. All the more their goods for sale were precisely what the people sought. Meng Yao each day rose early, rested late. Think not her wares seemed at first glance to profit little. Yet in truth, she need pay no stall's fee. The cost of her goods was but meager. Day by day, such earnings gathered. In the end, it proved no small gain. Lesser than some, yet greater than many. Man earns as much as his strength alloweth. No need to envy the wealth of others. The coin they gather is wrought from the ease and leisure they have sacrificed. Such truths of life were to Meng Yao ever clear. Each day she labored in her own course of life, with a body hale and sound. Already she felt content. When half the day was spent, Meng Yao and her cousin at last sold all their coconuts. Deducting the cost, still they gained a small profit. With joy, they divided the silver. Each took their own road homeward. Before Meng Yao's manor lay a reservoir. The manor itself nestled by a verdant hillside. Free-range hens and doves she raised, joyfully packed about in merriment. The co-op, long worn and tattered, from afar appeared most discordant to the scene. Long had she wished to clear away the tattered coop, yet ever busy, time was lacking. Now, with leisure at hand, Meng Yao resolved to take the wooden planks, and the co-op, raised with weeds and scraps, wholly dismantle. Once dismantled, a vacant plot was gained, fit for husbandry or planting alike. Such ceaseless toil left both body and spirit wearied. At dawn, Meng Yao this day resolved to prepare a fine repast, to reward herself. Yet before cooking, she must feed her household stock. The beasts she raised could in time be turned into coin, hence they must not be neglected. Life in the great mountains bore one boon, abundance of resource. So long as one was diligent, any manner of creature or crop might be raised, and the fish within the pond became Meng Yao's quarry for the day. That she might seize the fish of the pond, Meng Yao first dug forth a multitude of earthworms, then placed the worms upon her fishing net. Such a singular method of fishing truly had never been seen. Others would set worms upon a hook to catch fish, but Meng Yao set worms within the net itself. Could such a craft truly ensnare fish? Since she sought a hearty meal, certain things could not be wanting. Of course, from the garden she must pluck some grains, and in passing, clear away the weeds. Then plant anew some seeds of vegetables. The greens she herself raised knew no taint. Thus she ate in peace of mind. With vegetables in hand, surely rice could not be absent. Yet unlike the meals of others, Meng Yao chose to craft bamboo tube rice. Into the hollowed and mended bamboo she pressed rice and melon flesh, then set banana leaves within the bamboo to keep the rice from spilling out. By the same means she made several more, and laid them upon the hearth to roast. It would not be long before the fragrant bamboo rice was ready. Yet in the fish pond, the question remained, had any fish been caught? This must be seen. Meng Yao hastened swiftly unto the pond. She drew the net ashore, and lo! Truly no few fish had been caught. It seemeth that fish shall be today's main fare. Long had it been since she last partook of fish. This day she must needs feast well. There are myriad ways to fashion fish. It may be steamed or boiled, or braised red, or stir-fried for the table. Yet Meng Yao's craft was most peculiar. First she sought some starfruit. The taste of starfruit is singular, sour and sweet alike, and of rich nourishment. She sliced the starfruit into pieces, and set them within the pot to stew along with the fish. Thus would the flavor prove yet more refreshing. When the bamboo tube rice, roasted over flame, was split open, steam rose in billows. Whether it tasted well, only Meng Yao knew. By then, the steaming of the fish drew nigh its end. It should be set forth and savored aright. Perchance the bamboo rice and the fish were too delicious. Meng Yao even forgot to stir-fry the greens. In former days, Meng Yao was ever toiling without cease, bearing goods to sell, plucking fruits and vegetables, shouldering heavy burdens, crossing hills and ridges. Never once had she taken a day of true rest. This day, leisure was rare. Whilst savoring her meal, she ought also to ease her heart, for work is but to earn silver better, and proper rest maketh the spirit full, that one may better face the labors of the morrow.
Chào mọi người đến với kênh của mình. Trên ngọn núi hữu tình có một thiếu nữ mạnh dao bằng đôi tay trần nàng dựng lên một trang viên nhỏ bé nhưng đầy ước vọng. Trong khuôn viên ấy, những luống rau xanh mướt mọc lên thuần khiết và tự nhiên. Mỗi khi nàng hái về xào nấu, hương vị ngọt ngào thanh nhã lan tỏa khắp gian bếp, khiến lòng người cũng thấy nhẹ nhõm. Ngoài vườn, nàng nuôi một bầy vịt con mềm mại đáng yêu vô cùng. Nàng kiên nhẫn chăm sóc đợi chúng trưởng thành, và để rồi trứng vịt, thịt vịt hay đem buôn bán, tất cả đều có thể mang lại cả tiền và niềm vui. Bên cạnh đó, trong chuồng còn hai con trâu nước hiền lành, ngày ngày vui vẻ gặm chuối, cây và củ khoai được chặt nhỏ. Đàn gà thả rông khắp vườn cũng không thể thiếu. Tiếng gái, tiếng cục tác rộn ràng làm cho trang viên thêm phần sinh khí, và con bồ câu bay lượn quanh mái ngói tượng trưng cho điềm lành và phúc lộc, khiến cảnh sắc càng thêm thanh bình. Thế nhưng đằng sau cuộc sống tưởng chừng tươi đẹp ấy là bao gian nan nhọc nhằn. Nàng thiếu nữ kia đã phải trải qua không biết bao lần vất vả, mưa nắng dãi dầu mới có được thành quả hôm nay. Như câu nói chẳng chịu rét buốt, sao ngửi được hương mai, không đi qua bỏ tố làm sao thấy được cầu vồng. Muốn vui mừng trong mùa gặt, trước hết phải đổ bao mồ hôi công sức. Hôm nay cũng như bao ngày khác, chủ nhân viên Mệnh Giao lại bắt đầu một ngày mới mưu sinh. Mọi người thấy hay, hãy cho mình một lượt like và một lượt thích để mình có thêm động lực để mình phát triển và tạo ra nên nhiều video mới. Chào mọi người.